I love the new year because it gives us an artificial excuse to do what we have the power to do any day that we want, which is to change our future. Yet the top three resolutions stay the same every year, which is number three, to quit smoking, number two, to lose weight, and number one is to make more money. Now, I've never been a smoker except for the occasional cigar. I work out every day, but I'm not a trainer, but I can help you make more money. Hi, my name is Huge. I'm a business mentor and an angel investor. And over the last 4.5 years, I've helped start, grow, or launch over 1,000 businesses. Now, to do that, it takes money to start any business. So, what I'd like to talk about is how to save up for a startup. Now, I'm going to share my 4.5 keys or steps to do that. And if you follow these steps, you can make an additional $11,000 to $27,000 this year. Now, here's the key: without taking a second job. So please stay tuned.
It's gonna have to be a different man. Now may change me, but I can't trace time.
So let's get right into it. I'm going to give you my 4.5 simple steps to make an additional $11,000 to $27,000 this year. Now, obviously, it's a year from whenever you implement it. So if you're seeing this in July, it'll be a year from July. Okay? So let me give you a simple explanation to illustrate. So let's say you're right out of college and you're given two almost identical job offers. Okay? Option A is 40 hours a week, 2 weeks of vacation a year, and $70,000 a year. Option B is also 40 hours a week. It's also 2 weeks of vacation a year, and it's also $70,000 a year. But option B comes with your housing paid for, a company car, it comes with company phone, it comes with a lot of the bills already paid for. So out of these two options, they're both $70,000 a year. Which one would you choose? Obviously, you'd choose option B. Why? Because saved money is the same thing as made money. It's money that you're not taking out of your gross, so that it's like having a second job. So my 4.5 steps are those kinds of steps. They're meant to be worked around your full-time schedule, and it's without taking on a big, huge change. The first 4 steps. The last half step is why it's a half step. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so let's go to number 1, which is my favorite. Step number 1 is erase your bills. Now, we have partnered with a few companies that actually give you the exact same service but erase your bills, give the option to erase your bills at the same time. Now, on top of this, I'm going to throw on a little your six-figure mentor freebie. Okay, so down below, right here, I'll have a link, and click this link. It's y6fm.services, the number 4 and the letter u.com. Okay, so click on this link right here, and there'll be a survey, and it'll explain how, by white labeling your services that are the exact same service, you'll also cut your bill in half or have the option to erase your bill and feed hungry children at the same time. Now, how does this exactly work? So I call this the Costco business model. So let me give you a really simple example. Okay, so these are my 2 phones. Okay, I have 2 phones. One's a personal phone. You can kind of guess which one's that, right? This is my personal phone. Obviously, it's a little bit more fun. And this is for my personal friends, family, people I'm dating, or my business mentors, my Decamillionaire mentors. They get my personal phone. I keep this phone on me at all times and keep it on at all times. This is the number my kids call. Okay. This is my business phone, and I have thousands and thousands of numbers here. These are businesses that, business acquaintances and people that I'm mentoring. So there's times that I need to have family time, me time, and I turn this phone off. Now, this one's with Sprint. This one was with Verizon. I just switched to T-Mobile because Consumer Reports says it's now the number 1 phone company. Verizon has been dethroned, so I want the best service, and it has been really awesome. So both of these phones I kept my same phone number, kept the same phone, and I just cut my bill in half. You'll see some of these offers on TV. Sprint, if you switch companies, they'll give you that. But if you're already with Sprint, they won't do that. Verizon, same thing. However, With this company, by white labeling, you can actually even stay with the company you're with, not get a new phone, and actually just cut your bill in half. Now, that's called white labeling. So, an example of this is Costco. Costco has every brand name under the sun, like let's say Grey Goose vodka, but they also have Kirkland vodka, right? Kirkland is always a lot cheaper. In the case of Grey Goose, it's actually $30 cheaper to get Kirkland than it is to get Grey Goose. Here's the thing. Grey Goose makes Kirkland vodka. So it's the same vodka, but just a different white label. So by white labeling, it cuts on advertising costs, and that allows people to save money by getting the exact same service. So there are white labels to almost every business out there. Click the service survey below, and we'll give you guys a link to show you exactly how to cut your service in half, even though you are staying with the same service most of the time. Now, on top of that, if you use this survey below and actually become a customer and save on 2 of those things, on top of that, I will give you guys a free hour of business mentoring. That is a $2,000 value. I give free business mentoring, but usually it's through video or a 15-minute phone call max one time. Those of you who actually want to erase your bills, and 5 referrals actually erase your own bills. So it's easy. If you give 5 referrals or you sign up for more than one service, I will give you a free hour with one of the mentors, either myself or one of the other trusted advisor here at Your Six Figure Mentor. And that's a $2,000 value. That's a premium service that we do offer. It's on a case-by-case basis, but we will give you that hour of free business mentoring. Okay? So that's the first one. Step number 2 is say no to Starbucks. Okay? Contrary to what my future wife, Taylor Swift, would have you believe, you don't gotta love those Starbucks lovers. So what do I mean by this? All of us have some guilty pleasures or guilty habits that we really could cut in our life. For some people it's smoking. For some people it's Starbucks. And Starbucks is almost worse than smoking. I know people that every single day they go and they're like, I'll have a double mocha, half calf, decaf, extra Ugg boot, frappuccino, yoga pants, spray tan, soy latte or something like that. And it costs like $5 for this thing, and they'll order 2 a day. It gets ridiculous to a point where if you just find those habits that you can actually just say no to, go to McDonald's. McDonald's has the exact same drink. Well, not exact same. There's no yoga pants there, but it's almost the same thing. But actually save money. By saving just $4 a day, that's $121 a month. That's per year. That's $1,400 a year. Okay, so by cutting out a simple habit, you can actually save an additional $1,400. Now, this third one is a really big one, and it's going to take a little bit of explaining, so bear with me. Number 3 is start a business. Now you're going to say, wait, Huge, these 4 steps are to help me save up for a startup. How do I start a business if I don't have the money? So this all has to do with taxes. So let's say, there's a lot of businesses out there that you can actually start for as low as $1,000 or under $1,000. Now, if you have some other business in mind that costs $20,000 to start, why would you spend $1,000? Because of the way tax laws work. The taxes were not written by the poor and middle class. They were written by the rich for the rich. And so there are tax deductions that people that have a W-2 cannot have. If you are hourly, salary, or commission, more than likely you are a W-2 in your tax form. So businesses are 1099. If you have a 1099, you add it to a W-2 tax form. So let's say you don't even work the business. Let's say it's a business from home or a direct marketing or a network marketing business. Let's say you don't even work the business, but it costs $1,000 to actually activate a brokering or a licensing fee or something like that. By taking advantage of the 1099, you'll actually be able to write off things like travel, write off your gas, write off your phone, write off other bills. And so That's huge. The average person that I work with, just by having 1099 added to their W-2, actually generates about $6,000 extra in tax deductions at the end of the year. Think of it this way: if there was a giant hole, and every time I threw in $1,000, every single year, $5,000 came back at me. So that's 6,000, but minus my original 1,000. I would sit there and I'd throw $1,000 in there all day, all night until my arm fell off and until I passed out from physical exhaustion, right? And that's exactly how taxes work. Now, that's even if you don't work that business. If you have a business, if you do sign up for one of these companies, the 1099 companies, and there's one I'm going to mention in the last half, then I do suggest that you do something that has no auto ship or no product that you have to keep ordering, and something that doesn't make you change your buying habits. Like those coffee deals. A lot of those coffee companies just people are not going to switch over from Starbucks or whatever, to mushroom coffee. So no offense to those of you guys who made those. That's a fine business, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay. Now, step number 4 is to rent your home. What I mean by this is Airbnb. I love these kinds of new disruptive businesses where it's taking things that you already own and it's not really changing a lot of your habits. So in this case, let's say you're a couple with a 2-bedroom apartment. Let's say you have the extra room for grandma or grandpa or college friends that come from out of town. And if you rent out that other room, that can actually go a long way in actually paying off your actual housing. So based on a national average of about 33 nights a year, that's roughly about 11 to 16 weekends. If you're willing to give out of the 52 weekends that all of us have, just give up 11 of them, 11 to 16. Okay, that will generate oftentimes, at least, the average person makes about $4,600 extra a year, or if it's the whole 33, it's an extra 81% of your actual rent that you're actually paying off. So just by inconveniencing yourself, by giving that extra room for about 11 to 16 weekends a year out of 52, you'll actually be able to pay 81% of your rent. Now, in cities like Chicago, Dallas, and Philadelphia, that number actually is closer to 90% of your rent. In the 2 best cities in America to do Airbnb happen to be Miami and San Diego. San Diego, where I live right now. And in the future, I'm going to have on your 6-figure mentor one of my trusted advisors, Justin Leblanc, who's been a CTO, Chief Technology Officer. He's helped raise capital for businesses and startups, but also he does Airbnb and he kicks ass at it. So I'm going to have him. He's more of the expert on this, and he's been able to make a 6-figure income doing Airbnb. So look for that in a future episode. Okay, the last step is the 4.5 step, the last half step. And I said that it's a 4.5 steps to making this. Obviously, if you do the math, that's roughly, with the tax deductions for number 3, the cutting out habits and erasing bills, on bare minimum, that's about a $12,260 that you'll make by following the first 4 steps. So I said over 11,000 or around 11,000. It's actually 12,000. However, this last step, you'll actually make an additional $14,000 a year, and that is to rent your car. So I'm talking, of course, about Uber. Now, I'm going to use Uber's numbers, not Lyft, because I trust Uber more than Lyft. This doesn't apply to everyone because, A, your driving record may not be good enough. They're also very strict about what kind of car they take. So if you've got a jalopy, they're not going to take you. But that this is a viable option in a few cases. Now, the reason why I don't like this last step, and I give it a half, not a full 5 steps to saving up for a startup, is because if you are starting a new company, you're going to want to be able to actually invest time in that company. That takes away from your ability to work on your startup, to work on your dream. However, there's a few exceptions I give to this. So there's 3 benefits to doing Uber if you, especially if you are raising capital or you've started a 1099 business. The first one out of 3 is deal flow. If you're doing a 1099 business where you're selling something or a service or something like that, you're going to run out of people sooner or later at work or in your family. And so you're going to have to find a way to meet new people all the time. And one of the easiest ways to do that is if you're also making money at the same time as also getting customers, additional customers. So a lot of people do that. They have ads or something like that in their car, or they give out, some sort of coupons for whatever their business is, their small at-home business, and so that gives them deal flow. The number 2 reason why you should use Uber to augment what you're already doing is to work on your 30-second elevator pitch. One of the things about Uber is it's a lot of time talking to random strangers. And so it really hones. Small talk is very important. You want to be able to build rapport very, very quickly. And Uber actually forces people who have no sales skills to suddenly have some sales skills, because it's 15 minutes of dead airspace. So what do? You ask people about, hey, what do you do? Think of this like when you go to a bar and you're trying to date, you're trying to meet the opposite sex. If you meet some beautiful guy or girl and you're just all about yourself, like I am all this, I am the best thing since sliced bread, and you're like spouting out all this stuff about yourself, that girl is just going to walk away, right? How do you get a girl interested? You actually go up to them and you show genuine interest in learning about them. Ask them questions about them. Be all about them. This is called the law of reciprocation. So by being all about them, and do this with real, genuine interest, be interested in that person. Even if they walk away, something calls them away from the conversation, they're going to walk away thinking, wow, that was a really great conversation. He's a really nice guy. And that's because everyone loves to talk about themselves. It's no different in business. So you have time, you want to always ask questions about the person, and then they're going to at some point say, hey, well, what do you do outside of Uber, right? So you want to be able to work on that 30-second elevator pitch and really hone it down. This gives you that opportunity. The third and last reason, this is a little bit of a stretch, but I've seen it actually happen, is you may need investors if you're a startup. Well, a lot of times you're going to get people that are interested in investing in your company just by driving an Uber. I literally every 4 or 5 times that I take Uber, I get a business pitch right there from my driver, because I do the same thing. They ask me about me, and then I ask them, hey, what do you do outside of Uber? And then they tell me. If they've started a business, a lot of times it builds a mentoring relationship. And so that's the 4.5 steps. So follow these 4.5 steps, and that will help you generate an additional $11,000 to $27,000 per year. Now, if you actually find a company, a direct marketing company that actually makes money, that's not I haven't even included those numbers. If you actually do more than just a cell phone or TV, then those numbers will also be much, much higher. So that's all I have, and I hope that helps. Now, some of you guys are going to use this. These steps work, by the way, regardless of whether or not you have a business in mind or you're saving up for a startup. Let's say you just want to go on vacation, and so $11,000 is a baller vacation. You can go to Bali or Bora Bora or something like that and have a really fun time. But my passion is not in sending people on vacations so that they can come back to a life that they need a vacation from. My passion is to help people have freedom, to actually have something that gives them time freedom so they can spend with the people that are most important, because you can always make more money. You can find better ways of making money. You can never make more time. It's all about that additional time freedom and freedom to be the person you are always meant to be, and that's my passion. So that's all I have. Now it's time to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. What are some businesses that you guys have tried? Or what are some businesses that you're saving up for, and how much do you think you actually need? So leave a comment down below, or if you actually need some business mentoring, I give free business mentoring about 15 minutes one time to people I don't know or just random people. However, if you click the link that I gave you earlier, and I'll put it in the next page as well, and you actually say erase your bill. Let's say you've given me 5 referrals and you feed 5 hungry children, but also completely erase your cell phone bill, your AT&T bill, your T-Mobile bill, whatever. Then I will give you guys a 1 hour of mentoring with me and my trusted advisors. I've got a bunch of trusted advisors, lawyers, CPAs, people that can give you free business mentoring, and I'll give you 1 free hour. That's a $2,000 value. That's how much that is per month. And so yeah, that's something that I'd love to offer out to those of you guys who need it. And lastly, if you like what you see, subscribe. This little like button down here actually helps my ratings. It helps get my message out. So please go ahead and like or subscribe if you like what you see here. In the future, I'm going to go over some of the details on these 4.5 points. And so, like I said, we'll do one whole thing on Airbnb, one whole thing on Uber. There is another company that's coming out where you don't actually have to drive, but you actually just rent your car out. That's actually something that I would, in the future, redo this whole video and incorporate that as a full 5th step, if that's the case. So that's all I have. So I'll see you guys next time. Happy New Year. Take care.
What if there was a way you can shop for the same quality services you already have from brand name providers you trust, all at great prices and in one place? Even better, what if there was a way you could get some of these services for free? Now we have your attention. In the same way many of us shop online travel sites for hotel and airfare deals, you can now do the exact same for your monthly services for your home and your business. We've partnered up with the best providers for residential and business services that you already pay for each month. Services like high-speed internet, digital and analog phone, wireless, television, home security and automation, gas, electricity, and even credit card processing, all at outstanding rates. It's all the services you use and love, all in one place. Simply complete this short online survey and we'll do the rest, personalizing your services with your budget. And the best part is, every time you pay your bills, you are feeding kids in need. Because of people like you, we're able to feed millions of hungry children right here in the US and Canada every day. It doesn't get simpler or more powerful than that. Join the millions who are doing the same and making a difference. Submit your information now, and we'll get back to you right away with your customized services analysis.